always been sort of very interested with music, dance music in general. And the logic, I suppose, was turn what you love into your work. You've heard the saying, you love what you do and you never work a day in your life. So that was the whole concept behind it. And of course, with being born and raised in a place like Goa, shoe fit very well. It's exploded across India, but you seem to have this whole EDM nightlife boost all over the world at the moment, isn't it? The US has just opened, sort of really embraced the whole culture, and it's really exploded. But as far as India is concerned, 5 years ago, we wouldn't even, when I play all over India 5 years ago, we would only do 5 cities, 6 at the most, you know, Bombay, Pune, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, maybe Hyderabad, maybe Calcutta, and that's about it, and of course Goa. But now, especially with the festivals that I work with, we're doing what we class as tier 2 cities. So smaller cities, smaller metros, but are just loving it, like Indore, Guwahati, Ahmedabad, you know, places. I'm not sure about Ahmedabad actually, but definitely Indore and Guwahati, Mysore, you know, so it's sort of all the smaller towns that seem to have their own thing about it now. So it's definitely moving, and it's moving quickly. Sunburn's always got a special place in my heart. It's Asia's biggest festival at home for me, so it does get me there a little bit, do you know what I mean? This year, of course, the major change was that they changed location. So that sort of changed the vibe of it a little bit. I think it helped. I think it's a better vibe with the location than it is now. Previously, you were on the sand when you danced, which everyone says is amazing, but after a day, your legs are killing you because, you know, walking in sand and walking from one stage to the other, you're knackered by the end of it. So I think it was better this time as far as the venue is concerned. And this year obviously was really special for me because I work with my partner in crime, I like to call him Jimmy Kennedy in the UK. So this year it was Jimmy and I who played together at Sunburn. So it was a very different, good experience. I don't usually work with other DJs where I'm actually have a partnership. I've never had that in all my 13 years. So he's the first and we get along really well. So yeah, that was really good. There are no lines anymore. The goalposts keep moving. And I don't like categorizing music because it's everyone's interpretation. Your idea of progressive house and my idea of progressive house are totally different. I bet you think you're right and I know I'm right. So, you know, it's just sort of what people decide and what people make of it. So I don't think it's a good thing or a bad thing, so long as you like what you listen to. Deep house, chill out is still considered underground. Techno till about 5 years ago as well was considered underground, but you've had a couple of really good guys pushing the techno scene. Arjun Vagle, Anil Chawla, you know, Unmute Boys. So that's sort of given that genre a bit of a boost. But apart from that, I'd definitely say deep house needs to be a bit more accepted. But we're definitely getting there. We're getting there very quick. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah, I think deep house, chill out. I love chill out. I make chill out. For me, it's modern day jazz, or the closest thing you can get to it. So I think those genres could use a bit of a boost, for sure. Everything. Your equipment's failed on you, your electricity's gone off on you, your CD starts skipping, your player dies, someone comes up to the DJ console, gives you a hug, knocks the needle off the record. Suddenly there's 600 people looking at you like, what's happened? So yeah, well, anything that could happen has happened, mate. I've had a friend of mine drop his drink all over my music, on the gear, short-circuited. Yeah, and I'm sure if you guys realize, the minute music goes off, even if it's not anything to do with the DJ, if the electricity fails in the nightclub, everyone starts looking at the DJ, you know, like I'm the electrician. So, but yeah, I mean, anything that could happen, I think has. Touch wood, so hopefully that's us done with it now. Jimmy and I played back-to-back at the festival at Sunburn, and I think we were 60–70% through our set, And Jimmy was mixing 2 tracks. I was on acapella duty, so I was adding all the acapellas over it. And his headphone just blew, just midway through. It just went dead, literally. We had like 40 seconds left. Channel wasn't up. Track wasn't. It was queued, but wasn't playing. So yeah, and with you doing it as long as we have, I think that's what counts as your experience. You know, it does make your heart sink for 2 seconds, going, "Oh my God, what the hell's happened?" But yeah, but that was the last disaster, so to speak, that we had. Mini disaster. SAE degree does help a lot. It teaches you all your fundamentals about music and about audio. I think, like I mentioned before, my first month was all about biology. Study the human ear, how sound's perceived, you know, what works, how it works, that sort of thing. And if done right, and if you apply yourself, in my opinion, the way you should, it'll give you such a good basic level of fundamentals as to how things work in audio, in music, things like frequencies, balancing, EQs, everything leading up to compression. And it's not basic. It's not like, oh, this is a compressor and it squashes sound. It's not like that. It'll teach you the hardware element of it, what it does in terms of, you know, audio energy, in terms of musical energy, in terms of mechanical energy, in terms of electrical energy, what it actually does. So you have a very good understanding of how things work. And I think as long as you have that knowledge and you have that understanding of how things work, it helps a lot. It's helped me leaps and bounds. I can't even quantify how much it has helped. So yeah, I'd highly recommend it. I've recommended loads of my students, 2 of which who have actually gone to SAE to study it. So for me, yeah, I swear by it. It's hitting #1 on Traxsource. That's definitely my highlight of the year, especially because it's an original composition. It's an original track that I did with Jimmy. We teamed up with a guy called Bryce Oliver, who does a lot of vocals for Moonbeam. We've had huge success with them as well. So we made a track called Once in a Lifetime, released it on Weekend Millionaires record, and within, I think, 3 days of it being released, we were at #1 on the Traxsource Progressive House chart. We did have high hopes that it would do well, but yeah, that's definitely probably one of my biggest highlights. Hitting #1, we were at #1 for about 5 weeks. Had a lot of support from the industry, and a lot of, you know, top dogs playing it as well. I think people like Fede Legrand supported that, DJ Roog, you know, so we had a lot of people who supported us on that, which was great. I've been quite lucky this year. I've had a lot of chart success with most of my releases. Done a lot of different genres that I usually don't do, such as making deep house, making a lot of chill out. Got onto a few good albums as well. Of course, Sunburn, sort of the icing on the cake by the end of the year, so that was really cool as well to do that. Yeah, so I'd say probably those two are the 2 things that really stand out the most for me. We've signed a new track to Pasha Records, a track called Back to Life, so it's a re-rub of the original Soul to Soul track. This time Jimmy and I worked quite differently with it. He made the original, which is like a tech house track, which we played at Sunburn. And I wanted to strip it back and do a deep house version. And that's what we sort of think when you release an EP. You don't want to have 5 remixes that sound the same or more or less in the same genre. You know, you want to sort of cast the net a bit wider. So the original is 128 BPM, real banger, dance floor, you know, tech housey sort of a vibe. And then I stripped it back to the 122 BPM deep house version of the same. So that's coming out in Pasha Records in the next few months. We've also signed a track called No Fears for Tears to Paul Thomas's label. He started a new label called Ultraviolet. And of course, everyone knows how big Paul is. So we've been really happy to start working with him. He's a good friend. So again, it just adds to the family. What else have we got coming up label-wise? Signed 2 tracks to 925 Music, which is Miss Nine's label. It's a track called Shooting Stars. And the other one, which we've not really spoken about at all, is a track called Summer Fun, which is sort of a deep, funky house kind of vibe, which we signed to the Hawks and Hose record label. So again, I'm a huge fan of theirs. And they're doing a remix for us of Summer Fun. It's a vocal track where we've got the very talented Lisa Williams, who has done the vocals for us. Fantastic vocalist. She's from Newcastle and is quickly becoming one of my favorite people to work with. So in fact, we just had a chat the other day and we're hoping to do a few more tracks as well. So watch that space. definitely following up on the same road that I'm on. Got a lot more releases, teamed up with some really big labels this year. I've had great support from DJs across the world, which for me it's still a new concept, because I'm just happy that someone likes the music I make. And then when the people you look up to, your heroes, your idols, not only support you but play your music, there's no better feeling. You know, wherever I DJ, people do come up, they know your music, they ask you for your tracks. So that's still like a wow concept for me. I don't think I'll ever get used to it, you know. But yeah, that's pretty much what we've got coming up 2014. We've got Ibiza coming up as well in the summer, not Indian summer, but Europe summer. So we've got that coming up. We've got some stuff happening in Amsterdam as well for ADE again this year. Sunburn again next year. Yeah, so we've got quite a few things coming up, and like I said, lots of releases.